chest. Please wait. This is about to be so fucking bad. This might be a fucking 20-minute stream. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, who took my charger? L. Hold on. Okay, whatever. Fucking huge. Do we even pull viewers on the drunk backtesting stream? Probably fucking not. What's up, Joseph? What's up, brother? Gonna give it a minute for the stream to fill in before we start the backtesting. Hopefully this title pulls viewers. I think if I was a viewer, be safe being drunk. Hey, we're not actually trading. We're not trading. And we're at home. We ain't driving. We had a good night, though. Little Sunday night backtesting. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. All right, let me get FX replay pulled up. What's up, Tito? Been waiting for this. Hell yeah. What's up, Tito? Man, we up to 8 viewers already. Y'all the fucking best, bro. Y'all the best. Man, I'm gonna cook. We're gonna have a 90% win rate with a 15R. Let me tell y'all something. Got my attention. It's the weekend. Who's not drinking? I'm saying we gotta be drinking. I might even crack open one more while I'm back testing. This might be the worst idea I've ever had. What I want to do is I think I'm going to back test August of 2023. I'm not going to talk about it too. What's up, Homer? Man, I drink a lot of everything. I had a couple blue moons tonight. And we are 21 plus. We are 21 plus, by the way. This is, also chat. Guess what? Your boy is officially monetized on YouTube for ad revenue. So that's big news. By the end of the year, we should be trading and doing YouTube full time, which is super duper exciting. So thank y'all for that. Real life. Thank y'all for that. But yeah, we had a couple blue moons. A little bit of tequila. No mames, a little bit of tequila. And then at the crib, we sipping on some Busch Light Lime. I wish they had the apples, but they're literally impossible to find. It's been a good weekend. Okay, hold on. But really quick, I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm going to grab a charger, and we're going to be right back. And I can also do a quick fit check. We got the Balenciaga with the Ricks. You already know what's going on the wrist. But I'm going to grab a charger really quick, just so I can read chat as I'm back testing. By the time I'm back, we should be ready to back test, and then we'll keep it rolling. So I'll be right back, chat. All right. All right, let's get rolling. Plug in my phone so I can read chat. My beautiful chat. 16 viewers. Y'all are the best. 16 viewers. All right, boom. I've been trading since I was 16, 18, recently been blowing accounts, but confident in my skill set. Thoughts on instant accounts? I don't have any opinions. I only trade Top Step. I will say though, I might be switching to my funded futures. Reason being is Top Step recently made a rule where you can only buy 10 combines a month, which is stupid. Because the way that I play is I buy 5 combines and I try to pass them in 2 days, and then I'm trying to be on XFAs. But I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. I think if you struggle to pass combines, don't take this the wrong way. There's one of two things. One is either you're not trading combines correctly, or two, your strategy isn't a winning strategy. And both of those things are fine. The first option is a lot easier to fix than the second one. Again, my philosophy has always been, it shouldn't be that hard to pass a combine. You just full port for 2 trades in a row. And I'll show you my Confluences I'd be using. Let's get into this back testing session. So what I have booted up here is drunk back testing. The account balance is replicating 5 50K Top Step XFAs. I am back testing August of 2023. I don't know if we're going to be at all-time highs during this session, but we're essentially not even at all-time highs right now. Like if we look at what's happening on the 4-hour, we're massively dumping, and I don't know if we're going to be reapproaching all-time highs. We took out a lot of this low resistance liquidity on the sell side, so we'll see what happens going into the market on tomorrow. We already do have a no, we don't. I'm not gonna look at this. I need to look at that tomorrow morning. But yeah, basically what I look at: 1, daily bias; 2, SMT or a liquidity sweep, but generally an SMT. Then I look for higher time frame PD array, and 4, I look for 1 minute or 15 second, 2 minute, just lower time frame, CISD and IFBG. That's basically my strat. Those are my Confluences. But let's go to New York session. It always starts me at 7:30 for some reason, even though it's 8:30 for me. Yeah, freaky backtesting stream. Let's go, chat. All right, and let's go from the top down. If I can have like an over 50% win rate while I'm pretty drunk, I will cheers to that. So let's get rolling. Little bush lime action. You feel me? All right, let's get rolling. Accumulating on the 4-hour, it looks like. Where the hell is my price on ES? All right, there we go. Let me look right here. Okay, so immediately we have a higher time frame SMT. We're accumulating inside of, is that a daily imbalance? We're accumulating inside of this daily imbalance, and then we also have an SMT, so this makes my bias bullish. We also basically filled this gap already. I could see price maybe going lower because order flow has been overall bearish on the 4-hour. 1-hour, we're also kind of bearish. But we take out all of our liquidity, and we also put in this SMT right here at these lows. SMT at the lows. SMT at the lows on the 1-hour. That's important to focus on. Let's go to the 15-minute really quick. And then we'll watch market open. Oh, no, we need to look at the 15-minute. I want to see this 15-minute gap get ran, and then we can start looking at, these relevant highs getting taken. Okay, so price definitely just accumulated for market open. That's not very exciting. Oh, we're not at market open yet. Okay, wait, hang on. Okay, now we're at market open. So we accumulated a little bit pre-market. We also do have this SMT being put in. Another SMT being put in. Does that hold? No. Okay, and we invalidate the initial SMT. So I think I'm feeling shorts here. Let's see if we retrace to any of these fair value gaps. Okay, so I'm feeling a short. The SMT got invalidated to the sell side, so it's looking like bullish order flow is holding. Or, excuse me, bearish. And we have clear draws on liquidity to the sell side. I could wait for more Confluence. Let me see really quick. So we start accumulating. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're back to accumulating. It's right before the macro open. So if we were going to go higher, this is where we'd start to see some AMD action. We did sell off on market open, but we do SMT this internal low. Change in the state. This is tricky. If we inverted this 2-minute gap, I'd feel a bit more confident going bullish. But yeah, no, looks like we're just turtle souping these highs. Okay, we're going to continue lower, it looks like. Inverted this 30-second gap. Let's see if we get displacement underneath these lows. Okay, we create displacement. I could wait for a little bit more confluence, but I think that I've seen everything I need to see to think that price wants to go lower. I'll put stops above this gap right here. How do you accidentally blow live accounts and not get caught? I think it actually doesn't matter as much anymore ever since TopStep has made it to where you can only buy 10 XF or 10 combines a month. I don't even worry about it. That's a big reason why I want to go to my funded futures. So yeah, risk $500 per account, $2,500 total. Let's see if the drunk analysis is right. Let's go 5 minutes at a time. Looks like we might get shit on here. I'm going to chart out what 1R looks like, because I would partial on a trade this big. So this is 1R. And then we'll partial again. I think it was like, whatever. We'll partial at 2R and then leave runners to full TP. Okay, so we're going to partial here and here, given that we get that. But we might not. We're just kind of dancing around. Yeah, no, I think we lose this one. Brutal, 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 brutal. What do we end up getting? 0.5. Yeah, no bueno. We didn't even get to partial off on that one. All right, starting off with the L. I do want to see where price goes, though. Damn, so we kind of just like accumulate and kind of build low resistance liquidity. I bet this gets taken too. Wow, kind of fucking gay price action, not gonna lie. I don't know about blowing live accounts. I blow my accounts before I get transitioned to live. But I think it doesn't, again, I don't think it really matters anymore. I'm not a big fan of the new TopStep rules, though. Not a fan of them. Really makes me want to switch to my funded futures. I'm going to do some more research into them. If I end up, because here's what could happen. So I have really big goals for the month of August. And again, I'm hammered right now, so bear with me, chat. But for the month of August, I do want to, I'm not going to say the exact number I want to do, but I want to do a big number in August. And it's becoming a lot harder. Because I have to adjust my goals based on what happens if because I only get 2 at-bats at combines now. Daniel, I saw your DM, by the way. That shit was funny as fuck. This dude Daniel DM'd me on my Instagram, and he saw like one of my gym posts, and he goes, favorite natty vegan trader, because I was looking swole as shit. I can't even remember what I was saying, guys. This is going to be a fucking train wreck of a stream when you're along for the ride. Something about fuck TopStep. I think that's what I was saying. All right, but let's go to the 4-hour chart. Bearish order flow is holding. Clear draws on liquidity, lacking displacement above this 4-hour fair value gap. Yeah, bearish order flow, it looks like. 1 hour. Well, we did get some moves higher on the 1 hour, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. Market structure shifts. We have a low here we created. We close below that low. I guess we don't close below it technically. We'll see what happens when the macro opens. Clear sell side draws on liquidity. Making lower lows, lower highs. I appreciate it, Daniel. How do you know if an SMT got invalidated? Invalidated just means that, So like let's pretend that NASDAQ didn't take this high right here, but let's pretend ES did take this high. Let's pretend ES took this high and made an SMT, right? So imagine these highs are up here. If NASDAQ eventually comes up and takes out that high, the SMT gets invalidated because that means there's no more SMT. It means there's no more SMT because the divergence in price was invalidated. The lagging index came and took the low or the high. Let's go to the 15-minute. Yeah, order flow is bearish on the 15-minute. Okay, so let's go to market open here. So we are potentially SMTing these lows, but I imagine ES comes and takes these. Yeah, ES comes and takes out these lows. We continue pushing lower. Drop down. I think we can potentially just short. We go to the 1 minute on each. Let's see if we get any internal SMTs, anything that looks like a sell model. I think we're just going to sell off here. We have still a whole bunch of generated sell side. Yeah, no problem, Serge. What's up, Noah? What's up, moderator Noah? I think it's safe to probably just take a short here, but I do want to wait for macro open and see if we can get a higher probability entry. Like this is exactly what I'm talking about. We get an internal SMT validating the sell model. So we have this internal SMT. We're probably going to inverse this gap, I'd imagine. Yeah, it's looking like a sell model, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's looking like a sell model. Let's just wait to see if we get displacement. Honestly, fuck waiting for displacement. We inverted the gap. We have an internal SMT. Clear draws on the sell side. Stops at the highs. And we'll target these resting lows. Partial off at a 1R, which would be right here abouts. So we'll leave runners to these resting lows down here. And we will place order. Imagine I just lose every... That's so funny. Do I have an OnlyFans? Would you guys subscribe to my OnlyFans if I made one? If I made an OnlyFans, would you sub and be fucking honest? Oh my God, we're getting shit on. We're getting shit on by the markets. Take these lows. Take the resting lows. Hold on, let me make sure we're not SMTing with... Oh, brutal, we're SMTing. We're hella SMTing right here. This makes me want to close. Let me look at the 30-second. Let me look at the 15-second, actually. I love watching, when I'm in real trades, I love watching the 15-second because I feel like I get to see Enigma work in real time. Like we're lacking the displacement, you know? Okay, that's the displacement that we're looking for. Okay. Ooh, that's gross. I don't like that one bit. $5 a month? No, you would pay way more than that. All right, we're going to close half at 1-to-1 here. Move stops to break even. We're getting very beautiful displacement. Bang. W's in the chats. W's in the chats. Textbook sell model right here, ladies and gentlemen. Clear bearish bias. SMT at the highs, inverted the 1 minute fair value gap. We accumulate for a little bit and then clean sell side displacement. Clean sell side displacement. We could have gotten even more off of that. What did we end up? We ended up just fucking dumping here. We went to these lows. Do we go to these lows as well? Do we take out all these lows in New York session? Now that we start accumulating. Okay, so I could have left runners onto these lows. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Maybe have 3 TPs on higher RR trades. Okay, let's go to New York session. Go forward an hour. And let me... Whoa. What happened? What happened there, you sneaky little bastard? Okay, let's go to the 4-hour order flow. Looks still bearish. We reach into this gap here and just get really zero displacement at all. This was 2022. You could short any fair value gap and make money. Potentially. I don't know. I didn't trade in 2022. Started trading 5 months ago. Good to see my model still works, though. It's kind of why I like backtesting. It's kind of like for, like, over the weekends, I can't even trade. So it's like I got to do something. And backtesting hits that little scratch in my brain. Order flow does look a little bullish on the 1 hour. However, we are inside of this sell side inefficiency. Again, I like to can anyone expect their strat to work forever as long as it wins you? I don't exactly understand that question. Serge, rephrase and I'll try to give you a better answer. Oh, do we also? No, I thought we SMT'd these highs for a second. Okay. ES lacks displacement into this gap. Again, order flow has been relatively bearish, and we're tapping into this gap here, but we are actively rejecting it. So again, bearish, bearish. This is actually 2023, I think, not 2022. This is 2022. Or 23, sorry. Not 22. Okay. 15-minute. Turtle soup these highs, lack displacement. There's probably a news candle. I bet there was 7:30 news. We haven't looked at news once, by the way. That's how you know I'm hammered. Haven't looked at news once. W dad, by the way. Went out with my dad tonight. How much do you make a month on average in terms of percent? Can't say because I trade fundeds. I mean, the number would be retarded. If you're getting serious, like my ROI on funded so far is like 1,000%. Because what? It's $1,000. Like, for example, in June, I paid for a total of 1 batch of XFAs, and I failed this at a combine. So no, I won all my combines in June. So I spent, I don't know. Oh God, you make me do math when I'm hammered. I don't know, but it's not the same because I don't trade live. Bread's bread. That's ball knowledge, 100%. I'm gonna pin you, buddy. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. But shout out to you. The strat you're using right now, can you use it for the next few years? Yeah, I can. I think that this strat I've back tested it over several years, and it's also just smart money concepts. It's heartbreaking to have been trading for years and see 99% of people saying SMT, fair value gap, and also lingo. I'm not sure what you mean, but shout out to you. Do I trade on TPT? No, I do not trade on TPT. All right, let's get rolling. I need to stop reading chat so much. Turtle soup the highs. Turtle soup the highs. I'd like to see an SMT get put in, like right here. An SMT hold. So we have an SMT inside of this fair value gap with these highs. Is there any? I guess I have to wait for a change in the state on the 5-minute here, which we don't get. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Didn't even need that. Fuck that SMT. Wait for the macro open. I think are we just pushing higher here? Wait. I remember there was highs up here. We could potentially be SMTing these highs too, but no, we take all of those. So ES took these highs here. So that's a pretty significant SMT. Okay. SMT, NASDAQ is the lagging index. Tapping into a 5-minute fair value gap. I'd want to see this get inverted for sure. Yeah, strong rejection off of that gap. Invert that. I'm just looking at all time frames here because I want to make sure I get a good entry here and don't get finessed. Maybe we also get an internal SMT here. 50K because it's cheaper and XFA environments are all the same regardless of the account size. If you're a winning trader, you don't need to. Okay, let's see if we continue to get displacement here. Okay, this is where I'll enter. We create a fair value gap here, and if our consensus is right here about going short, that gap should hold, which makes things really easy for me because either I'm right or I'm wrong. And I guess we'll leave runners to all of this generated sell side, but I don't know if we leave it on for the full position. What time frame do I usually trade on? I trade all time frames. I get my bias with the weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and I look for confluences on the 15-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute, and hold on, let me lock in a bit here. Go 5 minutes at a time. Hold on, I gotta get rid of the partial. I would have partialed here. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but I would have already partialed. I would have had a limit order there, but you can't use limit orders on FX Replay. So now we are fully risk-free on this trade. I'll look to partial again at these lows, and then maybe partial these lows. Okay, partial another 50% of amount left. And then keep partial, we'll partial again right here, 50% of what's left, and then we'll just let this run. We'll put stops above this imbalance here. Oh, no, we'll put it above the highs because that needs to get respected. We'll put it above this swing high because that imbalance should get respected. And we're stopped out. Okay, W. Is that still an SMT even though you didn't have a bearish close? No, as long as the high gets taken, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. As long as the high gets taken. W, again, here, what was the trade? We SMT'd on the higher time frame. We had an SMT with these highs with the S&P 500. Lacked displacement over this hourly imbalance. And if you look at it, what was I betting on here? that bullish order flow was not going to hold. You could have taken this trade a lot of different ways. Could have taken it on the 15-minute inversion stops here targeting the sell side. But I personally waited for the displacement move here. I waited for us to create a sell side inefficiency. Entered on this candle closure, stops at the highs that created the SMT, and then targeting all the generated sell side. That was the trade. All right, let's go to New York session. All right, and let's go to 4 hour. 4 hour, remove drawings. And then, chat, also, as you know, quick vape break. Gotta have a vape break. I think I'm gonna leave that there. I did not mean to do that. Fuck. System for partialing. Just looking at relevant lows. I also, by the way, like, this is kind of bad because I don't really trade this high of RR. I only really trade 1-to-1. But if I'm going to partial, let's say, for example, let me just give like a random example. Let's say here, I was going to long. Let's say I had my stops at this low right here, and I was targeting these highs. I want to be able to be across the room and look at relevant highs. So high right here. High right here. Maybe I look at equilibrium of this range, right? Oh, that's also where these highs are at. Great. And then I look at maybe these swing highs. But no, I'd probably just want to partial. I want to partial at relevant highs. That's all. Or if I'm shorting relevant lows, right? Okay, let's look at the 4 hour. Okay, 4 hour order flow. We are accumulating on the 4 hour, it would appear. We do have some sell side. We do have sell side. Okay, so we have draws on liquidity on buy side and sell side. Clean 4 hour change in the states. Rebalancing of the change of the states on NASDAQ and on ES. So I'm getting overall bearish just because we're making lower highs, lower lows. We have generated sell side. Disrespected all the bullish confluence. On the 1 hour. Sorry, I just got a funny text. Yeah, no reason to feel bullish here. Oh, I gotta go forward 1 more hour. Excuse me, chat. Excuse me, chat. 1, 2. Yeah, we create this hourly imbalance here. Potentially we rebalance to it, but for the 15-minute. Yeah, create a displacement below these lows. I think this is a bearish. Like, how much am I taking off? Oh, normally just taking off 50% at a time. I'll take off 50%, then another 50%, which would be 25%. I normally, the most I'll ever partial is I'll take 2 partials before letting it run to TP. So we have this. I want to see how we react to this gap right here. I'd want us to be respectful of it if we were going to go lower. But maybe we come up and we SMT some of these highs. So we're accumulating a little bit pre-market. Or not pre-market, sorry, on market open. We do SMT these lows, but I'm not feeling bullish, so I don't really see a reason to take longs, especially when we are now SMTing the highs. Okay, so we just SMT'd these highs inside of this 15-minute imbalance. Okay, but now we're getting displacement higher. Okay, so that SMT gets invalidated. But now we SMT these highs. Yeah, NASDAQ fails to take these highs. Now, ES takes all these highs right here. NASDAQ doesn't. This is pretty close to the macro open. If we create displacement here, it's a pretty easy entry. We also have an internal SMT as well. ES makes relative equal highs. NASDAQ doesn't. Let's create displacement here. Makes it easy entry. But we're not getting displacement, are we? Okay, we create a little bit of displacement here. We take both of these lows. I don't think this is a bad entry. Yeah, I'll take this. I'll take this. And I gotta get a reminder of where I might just take it to this generated sell side here for a 1R. Maybe put my stops, you know, around this order block and just take a 1-to-1 here. I'm a 1-to-1 king. I love a good 1-to-1. Nothing quite like a good 1-to-1. Nothing quite like a good 1-to-1. Let's see what plays out here. Never partial on a 1-to-1 either. Never partial. Because then you're trading negative RR, which is great, but you got to have like a 90% win rate for it to be profitable, which some people do, but just not me personally. So also, let's take a look. Why do I trade? Like when I'm on FX replay, I like to look at how this would look. I want it to be as realistic as possible to my trading circumstances. So right now we have 3 winning days. And if we theoretically could take a payout over 3 winning days, we'd be taking a $3,500 payout because we have $7K in the account balance, and we could take half of that. That's how I like to look at this kind of stuff. All right, keep it rolling. Let's go to New York session. Keep it rolling. I feel like for having 41 viewers, chat's not that active. Chat, drop some W's when I win a trade in the backtesting session. What are we doing? Drop some W's. What are we doing? What are we doing? All right, keep it rolling. I think I got to go forward 32. I got to go forward an hour. Bang, bang. All right, 4 hour. Again, nothing has changed. I'm still looking bullish on the, or excuse me, bearish on the 4 hour. Go to the 1 hour. Inverted this hourly fair value gap. We do have generated sell side. But outside of that, these are relative equal lows. But then we have this imbalance here that we got to fill. But then we have triple stacked lows and these lows right here. So let me bring these over. All right, is that good enough? Okay, bang. That'll be fine. All right, go to the 15-minute. Don't speak unless spoken to. I trade Justin's forever model. I would say so, honestly. But the way that I look at it is I trade Confluence. I'm a Confluence trader. Like, I don't have a mechanical model. My model is very dependent on what I see in the market. I did learn a lot from Justin Werlein's forever model, but like I'm not copying his model, if that makes sense. Which there's nothing wrong with copying anybody's model, but it's just not what I personally do. Too busy learning to chat. W Homer. Honestly, that's W. That's W. It is a late night stream. It is a late night stream. I can respect that. All right, let's go to market open. Doji can. Oh, check for news, of course. No news Monday. Price action kind of sucks on no news Mondays, but let's see what we get here. I don't think that's an. Oh wait. Okay, we SMT, but this isn't a prominent high. This is the trap I get caught into. It needs to be a prominent high or a low that gets SMT'd. So like these highs would be prominent. These highs. The best is if it's a session high. That's really good. So for example, like these highs getting SMT'd is pretty relevant. But yeah, I'd want to see us come up and take all these highs, because that would be like clear manipulation. So we take all these highs. All right, let's look on ES. None of these highs are getting taken. Have I ever paid for mentorship? No, never, not once. Which there's nothing wrong with doing that, but you know, God bless, I was able to find all the right information was put in front of me, and I just kind of took it and ran with it. Yeah, so if we get displacement out of this range, I will take a short here. But maybe we go for these highs too, and ES fails to do so. I think, yeah, these highs are going to get taken, and we SMT these highs. This might be one I take on ES. We have equally as much generated sell side. Wait. Let me double check and make sure. Because if this high does get taken by ES, then I'm probably just not trading because my idea was wrong. Unless we make an SMT with one of these highs. But let's try to keep it one step at a time. Yeah, high gets taken. Okay, let me look at 1 hour highs. Yeah, ES. Oh, I see. We could be invalidating these SMTs over here. Interesting. Okay, yeah, it might be a no trade Monday kind of deal, because now I bet we start to accumulate, and this is just not favorable market conditions. Yeah, I guess I missed the memo that we were gonna bull run here. But we do get this internal. We sweep liquidity, and then we have an internal SMT. We create displacement. But yeah, we're just. Okay, we create sell side displacement now. Oh, risky business. I'm going to try this. I normally don't trade at this time, but again, this is the purpose of backtesting. I wonder if we come and take these lows here. I'll take it for a 2R. Take it for a 2R. Again, my mindset here is I think that overall that the higher time frame narrative is bearish. Oh, but we are inside of this hourly imbalance. That's probably I think this is a bad trade. I would never take this in real life. I do want to see how this plays out though, but I wouldn't actually take this. Yeah, no. Does price even go lower? Yeah, no, it just continues to accumulate. Okay, thank goodness we didn't take that one. Thank goodness, brother. All right, go to New York session. All right, go forward an hour. Now let's look at the higher time frame narrative. So we did end up running this gap, but it just wasn't when I thought it would be. Okay. Remove drawings. Take a sip of the brewski. Tapped into this higher time frame order block. Selling out of it. Inverted this hourly fair value gap now, or 4 hour fair value gap. Now we're in this one. Generated sell side. Check for news. It's now Tuesday. 7:30 news. Okay, not for me to worry about. That already been there, done that. Again, still feeling overall bearish. We have this hourly SMT as well. Drop into the 15-minute. A lot clearer to see here. How do I get rid of that? There. It's a lot easier to see here. SMT at these highs. Bang, bang. So that could be manipulation. We'd want to see ES not take these highs for it to be manipulation. which it looks like we're getting. I'll put this up there though. SMT, let's drop it to the 5 minute. I wouldn't really need to see anything on the 5 minute. I think I can see everything I need to see on the 1 minute. Clean change in the state, create displacement out of here. Let me make sure we're not SMTing. We do SMT these lows, so I do want to wait for NASDAQ to take those lows as well. Okay, we do have generated sell side here. NASDAQ took these lows. Yeah, I'm good for a short here. Let me double check just everything else I need to see here. Create displacement out of that. 15 second. Yeah, I'm feeling fine about taking a short here. This isn't a perfect entry, but I think I'm fine with the higher time frame confluences. We get a 1R right around macro open. There shouldn't be any news events that impact anything. On God, W Brewski, W drunk backtesting session, not a Kappa rapper. I wonder if a drunk backtesting session is advertiser friendly. Lord knows. And let's hit my take profit really quick, please. What do we get here? Let me zoom in on ES. So we took it. Oh, I need to make sure that NASDAQ. I should have been paying attention. Oh, wait, no. These are good. We're looking at these lows. Okay, we're good. Yeah, bang. W's in chat again. The entry was kind of mid, not gonna lie. But we created displacement, which is we got to change in the state and create a displacement. We didn't inverse a fair. I mean, I guess we technically did with this over here, but we didn't get that clear IFVG. You know what I mean? W Homer in the chat. W Homer in the chat. And at this point, chat, we're 1 day away from a payout. This would be a 5K payout. I mean, that's nothing to shrug your shoulders at. That's a 5K payout. It's an extra 5 bandaroonies in your bank account. Nothing quite like 5 bandaroonies hitting from Top Step. If you've taken a payout, you know what that feeling's like. Oh, I love that feeling. Fucking getting that email from Wise, Top Step has paid you. Oh, what a feeling. I can't wait. July was unexpectedly rough for me with all-time highs, but it's so bad to be a trader because I'm like, low-key, I hope the market tanks because I want to be away from all-time highs. But it's true. All-time highs are tricky for me, but I think it was a really good experience. Anyways, who cares? I'm an observer of the market. I can't change anything. We look at the 4 hour here. I'm already, again, yeah, bearish. What do you know? Just keep shorting, dude. That was what it was like when I first started trading. Drop. Okay, we're going to do a Confluence tier list. Tier list. Wait. Custom tier list maker. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. How do I do this? Hold on. I am going to do a Confluence. That's a super good idea. What contract? I don't know. It doesn't say on basically, I'm risking $500 per account per trade. So I'm risking 1% essentially. Poggers. That is a Poggers moment. Hold on. I'm gonna do it on just Google Docs. Google Docs. All right. We're gonna do here. Let me pull this up. Confluence tier list. I love this, bro. I'm bricked right now too. This is goated. Okay, so boom, we got Confluence tier list. We have S tier, obviously, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, F tier, and then I'll put don't use. Like, I personally don't use these. And you can drop these in the chat. Well, let's do a... Is this the first ever Confluence tier list? All right. Here's the first one that's going to go in S tier chat. SMT. SMT is an S tier Confluence. Let me tell you what. Nothing gets me bricked up quite like looking at the chart and I see ES making a lower high, but NASDAQ takes that fucking high. That motherfucker crazy. SMT, goddammit. That shit, SMT's made me profitable. That quote me on that. Put that on a t-shirt. SMTs made me profitable. I don't even know what the fuck that shit stands for. Made me fucking profitable. SMTs are where it's at. Okay. What else? Just start putting confluences in the chat. Start putting confluences in the chat. I'm saying when I see an SMT get put in, I'm locked. Yes, the S in SMT literally stands for S tier. All right, what else do we got? What else do we got? What other SMTs? Because here's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of like fair value gaps, changing the state, market structure shifts, rejection blocks. I personally don't use. Don't use. Break of structure, CISD, order blocks. Now, here's what I'm going to put. I'm going to put order blocks at C tier. Now, that might piss some of y'all off, but let me tell you why. There's order blocks literally fucking everywhere. And I've never paid attention to an order block and been like, yeah, this is going to make the difference. Like, oh, this higher time frame order block is going to make all the difference. Because in my opinion, I just don't look at them. I just don't look at them personally. But I know some people do. No, I'll put order blocks in B tier because it's still a smart money concept. It's still a smart money concept. Still a smart money concept. Okay, we have liquidity sweeps, Fibonacci. Now, I personally don't use Fibonacci, but you know what I do use? I do use equilibrium, and I used to live and die by equilibrium. I'm going to give equilibrium a C tier. I'm going to be honest. Equilibrium's a C tier. I almost never look at it anymore because it doesn't matter. If price wants to go higher, it's not going to stay confined to a range. Price can push through equilibrium whenever it wants. Now, looking at like equilibrium as a target or looking at premium or discount as a target is great. But looking back at when I used to be like, oh, we're in a premium, so I'm going to short, or we're in a discount, so I'm going to long. I stopped looking at that so long ago. I think equilibrium is personally C tier, but it is something that I still think about it. I still think about it occasionally for a target. Liquidity sweep is going to be A tier. Liquidity sweep is going to be an A tier. The reason it's not S tier is because of how often price can just run through liquidity. Price can run liquidity, right? Because think about it. Like right here, let me get rid of this. Like think about like these lows right here. Actually, let's look at this low, right? Double stacked lows, run through them. Yes, we do end up rebalancing, but we continue to push lower. So it's not like every time it's like, you know, it's a great confluence. I'm not going to give it S tier. I don't think it's worthy of an S tier. But now I think targeting a draw on liquidity is absolute S tier. Because when you are, it's not technically a confluence, it's more of a target when you're trading. But your draw on liquidity, okay, hold on. Hold on. Trend line, F tier. Need I say more? Trend lines in the big 2025. Volume and breakout is gonna be F tier, bro. Volume and breakout is gonna be F tier. Oh, that's good. Shout out Noah, bro. W confluences. But no, trend lines, bro, is F tier, bro. Exponential moving average, bro. Exponential moving average. What are we talking about? EMA's F tier, bro. What are we talking about? Bro? Because look at, bro, like, yeah, sometimes you can look at, oh, we're in a downtrend, let's go down. But there's so many times where you'll be looking at it, like here, imagine, oh, we're making lower lows. Oh, right here, we made a 3 touch point trend line. I'm gonna go short. Boom! You just got fucked. Look at this run. What are we talking about? Now that could be ignorant, but bruh, trend lines are ass, bruh. Trend lines are ass. Never trading that shit ever again, dog. IFVG. I'm gonna give IFVGs an A tier. I want to give them an S tier, but it can't be. IFVGs can't be an S tier. You know why? Because I think it's a canon experience. It's a canon experience that every trader learns about an IFVG and they think they're going to start making $100,000 a month. That same shit happened to me when I was brand new. I was like, oh my God, IFVGs are going to make me profitable. And then I started trading every single IFVG and liquidity sweep that I saw, and I was getting cooked. It's a great Confluence. That's why it's an A tier. It's a great Confluence. But it's not an S tier. It's not something that I think is necessary for entering a trade. But you know what I do think is necessary for entering a trade? CISD. CISD is going to be S tier. I really do think that these are going to be the only S tiers in my opinion. SMT, draw on liquidity into CISD. I'm trolling that IFVGs are A tier. I'm trolling. It's an A tier, but I'm looking at S tier is I don't enter a trade without these things. I enter trades all the time without an IFVG. Now, you know what I will give S tier and A tier? Sibi and Bissies. Now, let me tell you why. I'm looking at sell side. I'm looking at sell side inefficiencies, sell side imbalances and buy side imbalances every single time I enter a trade. Whether or not we inverse a fair value gap, which is also just a Sibi or a Bissi, not important to me. Support and resistance, I'm going to honestly give that a D tier. It's not F tier. Support and resistance, because if you think about it, all these confluences in a way are going to be support and resistance. When we look at something like a sell side inefficiency, let me try to find one here on the chart. Like when we look at a sell side inefficiency, what are we saying? We think that price is going to reject this inefficiency. And in essence, we're saying it is resistance. Is that not what we're saying? That it's resistance? So if we're going long here, this is going to be resistance. But if we're going short, this is going to support us. Right? I guess support would be like, if we were going long, like this would be support, right? It's supporting price pushing higher, right? You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna give support and resistance an F tier, but it's basically D tier. PO3. I don't think PO3 is a confluence. PO3 is a concept. All right, Noah. Noah. He's got his JOB in the morning. Shout out Noah. Is there anything I'm missing here? Rejection blocks. Personally don't use them, and I also personally don't use breaker blocks. I hear about them, but I personally don't use them. Anything I'm missing? Did I learn from ICT? Yeah, Sibi. Yeah, exactly. Sibi and Sibis is basically just like consequent encroachment is going to act as support or resistance. If you don't know about consequent encroachment, do your homework on fractal encroachment. Fractal encroachment. Explanation lurk. I think this is all my confluences that I trade. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I use. Oh, market structure shift. I'd give it a B tier. It's not something that's terribly important. Key levels, key opens. I've looked at opening level. It's just I don't personally use it. I'll look at key levels / opening levels. Personally don't use them. NDOG and NWOG. I'm going to look that up, but is that like some freaky... I'm going to look that up. NWOG and DWOG. NWOG trading. What is that? It's an ICT concept. Oh, new weekly opening gap. Okay. It's just I didn't know the term for it. The weekly opening gap... It's basically just a fair value gap, but there's a very big chance it doesn't get revisited. This is kind of niche ICT knowledge, but a lot of times those gaps don't get revisited, hence why they're gaps. But it is confluence that price is going to want to go higher. Like if we're pushing higher, and for example, we're in the context of all-time highs, those gaps might not get revisited. So like new day opening gap, new day opening gap. New day opening gap, that might be pretty high. New week opening gap, I might give a C tier. New week opening gap, I'm going to get... Oh, no, week, though. Oh, man, I don't know. This is tough. Because I look at it every time. Every time I see a new week opening gap, and I look at it. But I'm never trading out of them. You guys know what I mean? Like, I'm never trading out of them. I acknowledge them. I acknowledge their existence. But I don't trade out of them. I think I'm going to give them a B tier. Okay, I think C tier is too low. I'm going to give them a B tier. New week opening gap and a new day opening gap. I'm going to give them B tier because I think they're valid confluences and I treat them similarly to a fair value gap. But ICT used to talk about, and again, ICT is not the end all be all. He did not create these concepts. He was just kind of the most well-known teacher of them. But something that he would talk about is there's a very big chance these gaps don't immediately get revisited. It's kind of the market saying, hey, we're going higher today. Be there or be square. You know what I mean? More so in the context of going long, not so much in the context of going short. But yeah, I think this is good. I think this is good. Show feet. All right, bruh. Actually, I will show the feet because I got Rick Owens on. That was way too much skin on my thigh. That was more skin than I wanted to show on the thigh. But all right. How are we doing on backtesting right now? Let me see the stat line. Let me see if we're cooking. I feel like we're cooking. Yeah, we're cooking. 80% win rate, 1 to 2. Almost want to end it. I almost want to end stream here just to be like 80% win rate backtesting session. That's not the point of backtesting. All right, let's keep it pushing, chat. Let's keep it pushing. We're at market open. We're on the 4-hour time frame is bearish. Yeah, time frame is we're definitely bearish, but we do have this higher time frame SMT. See, nothing makes me shake in my boots like an SMT. If I see an SMT, I'm like, all right, hold on, let me lock in for a second. Gets my adrenaline going. I'm like, that means something. We take out all these lows here. Does price want to go higher? Why would price go higher here? Order flow is clearly looking bearish. See, this is where I look at equilibrium. It's like, yeah, we're well into a discount. Whoa. Well into a, if we look at like where we're at in the weekly opening gap, right here. This is from back in fucking June. But if we look at the gap or the range that we've created since creating that gap, we're very far into a discount. We have a ton of generated buy side, but I don't see anything here that makes me think, yeah, we're going to be bullish today. Like this all looks bearish. So that's a contradicting confluence. No problem, bro. This is FX replay. FX replay is the back testing. Yeah, I don't think I can like confidently say that I'm bullish, but if price wants to go higher, I will follow suit because we do have this SMT here. We go to the 15-minute. We turtle soup the lows. Like that also could be saying, oh, turtle soup is an S tier. What's up, Rage? S tier is gonna be turtle soup is gonna be an S tier confluence. By the way, we don't SMT any of these lows here. Let me actually pull up those lows right here. Because yeah, all these lows get taken. So I'm going to put this down here just so I can, if we start approaching it, I'm well aware. See, but then we SMT these highs here. Yeah, like, see, then we have an internal SMT that's bearish. I'm like, okay, we take that high, but ES is pushing significantly higher, and macro is about to open, and I think we just come in and invalidate this SMT. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Yeah, all of these highs get taken. Now, to be fair, it doesn't take this high up here. But then we inverse this gap. If we create displacement underneath these lows, I'd feel better taking a short right now. Okay, then we SMT these highs up here. We're just lacking displacement, you know? God, displacement's an S tier confluence too. Month weekday. I'll look into that, Seth, for sure. Appreciate that. I'll look into that. So we've been basically accumulating. At this point, realistically, I'd be off the charts, and I would just accept I haven't taken a trade because it's just accumulation. We're not really getting displacement anywhere. Like, it's just been horizontal price action all day, and I hate trading this. I never trade this shit. So it's like, yeah, we did end up taking the draw on liquidity I was talking about, but yeah, 10:45. That's 11 o'clock New York time. Get the fuck out of here. Probably take one more trade, then call it a night. One more trade, then call it a night, because it is 10 o'clock my time, and I want to be in S tier conditions for the market tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, order flow bearish once again. What are we talking about? Bearish order flow. Volume SMT, also that's bald knowledge. Volume SMT, we have a volume SMT because ES or NASDAQ fills this gap, ES doesn't. So that's a bearish confluence. Drop down to the 1 hour. Whole bunch of generated sell side. Whole bunch of generated sell side. Okay, ES does fill this gap. We do get a market structure shift. So this could be a reversal on the higher time frame. And we're bullish on the 15-minute. So yeah, I could take a long here. I'd be very open to taking a long here. 100%. Order flow has been bearish on the 15-minute. Unless we see something crazy that makes me want to go short, I'd be very open to taking a long here. I'd want to see a prominent SMT. Like, I want to see like a pretty important SMT get put in like these lows here, for example. Yeah, okay, so we do SMT. We had an SMT here that gets invalidated, but we put in a new one, even with these lows being taken. So we have a manipulation leg, it looks like. We do have a manipulation leg. But it might get invalidated. Nah, these lows get taken by NASDAQ, not by ES. Oh, is that a change in? We do get a really clean inversion of this fair value gap. Almost get a change in the state, but we reject that gap. I think, and then we get a change in the state. Yeah, I'll take a long here. Take a long. Stops at the lows that create the SMT. We'll target all this buy side here, and we'll partial off at a 1R, which would be these highs down here. So we'll partial here. And let's see if we end this stream on a dub. What's up, X? Yeah, I did not trade this week. Did not trade the last week of July. It was red folder news all week. Absolutely terrible trading conditions. I heard a lot of horror stories from people that traded this week. Good week for me to take off the charts personally. I haven't taken a week off of the charts in a long time. Ooh, barely stopped out. Let's see where price wants to go today. We're just gonna continue lower. Get a bit of accumulation. Do we end up taking out those highs? Nah, just wrong about today. All right, let's see how we did drunk. 66% win rate, 1R. Not horrible. Ended up being profitable. 7,200 over 4 winning days. Not bad. But that's going to be that, chat. It's going to be that. Yeah, L. What? Homer don't spam no dubs, but I catch a L. He says L. Longing right into, I don't know. I don't trade supply and demand. Don't trade supply and demand. But not bad. Not horrible. Could have been better. But chat, that is going to be that. Be ready for trade recaps this week. Going for a very big month this month. Let's go, X. W on activating the first Apex funded. W stream. W drunk stream. Hopefully I'm not hungover tomorrow. Yeah, fake at Homer. But y'all have a good night, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Hopefully we have a W trade recap tomorrow. W Brewski, W stream, W chat, W trade.